folks here in about 5 minutes. If you're still out in the foyer and you can hear me, please come on in and have your seats. Candidates, if you'll make your way down to the front, please. So we'll get started in just about 5 minutes.
No. I'll go get it. Yes, sir.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Wes Brummett. I'm the county chair for the Republican Party here in Harrison County. I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. I hope we have a great evening. We're going to begin in just a few moments. I want to first go through some formalities and information for you guys as we go through the night. I do want to thank ETBU and Dr. Blackburn for letting us renovate again. So if you see Dr. Blackburn, let him know that the facilities are really great and we do appreciate it. Republican Women, for those of you that are not familiar with the Republican Women of Harrison County, we have several members here tonight. They were at the booth as you registered to come in. Please get to know those ladies. They do a great job for us, and I'm sure they would love to have you at their monthly meetings. If you did not register or sign in at the tables out front, they're in the middle. Please do so after the debate. We really appreciate it. What that does, it gives us some information about you. It gives us the ability to let you know about other events that we may be having. It lets you know about dinners or speakers that we may have come in, so that you get that information. You as a voter need to know all that information. So if you'll let us have your information, we'll be sharing as well as a Twitter account. If you guys get on any of those social media types, you'll also get any of the information that we put out there as well. Just a few quick notes, please. As we go through the debate, turn off your phones or silence them. We don't want those going off during the debate. The bathrooms are right out in the foyer, right behind the registration tables there, along with the water fountains. If you need to get up, please do so quietly. We won't tell you not to do so. As far as applause goes, I would ask you the reason, we want to have everybody fair and balanced as far as those of you that may be for or against one or another candidate. Just want to make sure that they have the opportunity to speak their minds and speak what they're about. Okay, so please hold your applause for all of that. Next thing I want to just kind of mention is primary season. You guys are here because you're interested in voting. You guys are the populace that these guys here, these four candidates are looking for. And we do appreciate you being here. We are also looking for Harrison County people to help us out in those elections. We have 24 precincts throughout the county that you can go vote at. But we do need volunteers to help us run some of that. We got a lot of that already taken care of, but if you can help out in that respect, please help us out. If you know somebody that has that time or availability on March 1st, please let us. And then one of the things I'm going to do tonight, I'm kicking this off tonight, and I haven't told anybody this, is I'm kicking off a 100 for 300 campaign for the Harrison County Republican Party. What that means is I'm looking for 100 people that will pledge or contribute up to $300 for the year for our party. What that does, basically, that's $25 a month. What that does is that helps us put these kind of events on, bring speakers in, keep our doors open, give you the materials and such, pay somebody to keep our doors open. And that just helps us out in that regard. So if you have that ability to do $25 a month or something along the lines of a single payment, that would be greatly appreciated. Those pledge cards are out at the front as well on those tables. Okay, so I'm going to go introduce our evening, our panelists. Well, let me back up first. The format. Many of you guys don't know the format. The candidates are going to have 3 minutes for opening and closing statements. The panelists are going to ask questions after that. We're going to begin the format with first questionnaire, and then we're going to go by alphabetical order. At the end of the debate and the closing statements, we're just going to so they have 2 minutes to answer those the panelists ask. So that's our basic format of the evening. So the introductions, we have Jerry Pye, who is our editor of the Marshall News Messenger and the Panola Watchman. Jerry, he started the newspaper business at age 14, delivering newspapers. Paper route later paid his way through college as he delivered 651 papers per day, completing college with only $200 in student loans. I'll go with that. And he's been married for 31 years to his wife, Ruby, a member of the Rotary, as well as the Panola Chamber of Commerce and the Carthage Lions Club. So, welcome, Jerry Pye. After serving in Longview. He is an adjunct professor of the political science departments here at ETBU, A&M, Kilgore College, and LeTourneau. He is also the former county chair over in Gregg County. And he is, and you didn't put this in your bio, and I added this, he is a former Senate District Convention Chair at the Texas GOP. He has some pretty long background with the Republican Party. So give him a hand. Our next panelist is Heidi Hansing. She is coming to us from 4.5 hours away, so she was very gracious in coming up here and doing this for us. And she is also a former military person. She served 6 years with the U.S. Army, right? In 2005, she co-founded the syndicated website guardtheborders.com, was a founding cadre member of the National Veterans Group Gathering of Eagles in 2007, and has served several years on the board of directors there. In 2008, she was a grassroots director for Duncan Hunter's presidential campaign. In 2009, she co-founded StandWithIntelligence.com and served as the senior editor and publisher and webmaster of that website. In 2010, she worked full-time for the Pantano for Congress campaign, and she was a policy advisor and the e-campaign director for that. In 2011, 13, and 15, during the Texas legislative sessions, let me back up. Heidi was also elected in 2012, is that right, to the City Council of League City. And from 2013 on, she is hosting her own show on RagingElephants.com. If you haven't heard of that, I'd encourage you to go on the website and pull down some of those shows. They're all backed up in archives and stuff. But what's the time period on your show?
12 to 2.
12 to 2 every day, Monday through Friday.
There's a lot to talk about.
All right, so she's also on the board of directors for the Clear Lake Tea Party. So give her a hand. Okay, so General Brown, former member. Anything else you want? Myself in the opening remarks.
Okay.
Lee. Representative David Simpson out of House District 7. And Representative Brian Hughes, who's currently representative of District 5. And all of these fine gentlemen are running for your Senate District seat to replace Kevin L. Tuff. I want to go ahead and bring up Dr. Blackburn. He is the president of ETBU. He's going to say a few words and give our invocation. And then just before we give our invocation, we're going to have Representative Patty, who is our representative here in Marshall, to come up and do the Pledge of Allegiance for us.
We're honored to have you at East Texas Baptist University, and we are proud to partner with the Harrison County Republican Party so that we can hear what these candidates have to say. We want, here at ETBU, we want the appointed person that's to represent our district. And certainly we are here to listen and to receive a word from these gentlemen as we make the best decision for our state and for our district. So I'm grateful to each of you for coming tonight, and we believe that you need to support education That's my push, right? And support the tuition equalization grant so that students who choose to come to a private school like ETBU can take advantage of those state funds that offset private school tuition. And we're grateful for the support that we've received from Representative Hughes and Representative Simpson through the years for the TEG. I just want to say, just a few moments about who we are as a university. You've come onto the campus, this beautiful campus, and we're grateful for it that God has given it to us, but it is God's campus. We're a Christ-centered institution. We don't make any apologies for that. God has called us to be a deeply committed Christ-centered institution. That means that we believe that all truth is God's truth, and we're teaching that truth to our students. We fully integrate faith and learning. We believe that faith doesn't just precede learning, it just doesn't follow learning, but is fully integrated into all aspects of our university curriculum. In the classroom, outside the classroom, in student activities and athletics. That's what God has called us to do. We talk about never letting the light die. You'll see that slogan here at the institution. We believe that's the light of Christ, the light of Christ that lives within us. And so we are proclaiming Christ's light, his truths, and we will never let the light die here on this hill. But we believe we have a responsibility to illuminate as a city on a hill and to illuminate the city. Every one of our freshman students each week are giving an hour of their time in all 6 of our Marshall elementary schools. This next year, every single student on scholarship will be giving an hour of their time each week in serving with charities, local agencies, as well as our school system here in Marshall. We believe that our call is to develop servant leaders. Students, whatever God calls them to do, that they will go out and be a reflection of the servant leadership of Jesus Christ. So that's who we are. You've come to a Christ-centered campus, so you're going to hear God proclaimed tonight. There's no doubt as a Baptist, I believe in the separation of church and state. I believe in religious liberty. We believe in it, so we're fighting the HHS mandate, and we're fighting for religious liberty beyond the HHS mandate with the Obamacare. We're fighting for religious liberty for our Christian institutions so that we can stand strong and be able to pursue what we believe are truths, God's truths, as we strive to be all that God has called us to be as an institution. We're grateful for your support tonight, for your support to these candidates. Go out and vote. We need to vote in this election and the one coming up, right? The big one in November. All right, well, Chris is going to come, Representative Patty is going to come and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and then I'll have a word of prayer for us. Representative Patty.
All right, thank you, Dr. Blackman. If you would all stand, and guys, here's hoping that Dr. Blackman never decides he wants to get into politics and run against any one of us, okay? Amen. Allegiance. Now the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag.
Thank you, Representative Patty. I'm grateful for my friendship with Chris, and we appreciate his leadership in the House. And thank you for all that you do in our city and in the state in representing the constituents in your District 3. Well, let's pray. Father God, we come before you, acknowledging who you are as our Creator. Father, we are thankful that you have given us government. You have shown us what it means to have rules, what it means to live by a code that you gave us long ago. Father, we are grateful that we have a hope and a future that surpasses what government can do for us. We know that hope and future is in Jesus Christ. We are thankful, God, that we get to seek after you, we get to search after you, we get to look to men and women to lead our nation in representation in the legislature and in Congress and in the executive branch. Father, I pray in this election that you will appoint the man in this race that you believe is the best representative for our district. They're all capable, Father. We know they're very capable men. But Father, we pray for your blessing into the future. I pray that they will treat each other with respect for each other. Wonderful land, America. We love you, Western.
Good evening. My name is Red Brown. I'm a senior at Texas A&M University. I want to thank you for the opportunity to be here with you this evening. I want to thank you for putting this on, because this is
across our land and across this great state as we prepare for these elections. There is nothing more important than what you're doing this evening, and that is looking and making your decision on who to vote for to lead this Senate district and this state into the future. I was born and raised in Woodville, Texas. My dad was a state trooper and worked for the Texas prison system. Left there, went to Texas A&M University. I took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America on the 3rd day of May in 1980 and went into the United States Army. I served in the Army on active duty and in the reserve for 36 years, or after 36 years will be in May. I am a 2-star general, currently the Deputy Commanding General of U.S. Army Forces Command at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. In 2004-2005, I commanded a combat brigade in Iraq, composing over 4,000 soldiers. I commanded a division of over 14,000 soldiers, an infantry division of over 14,000 soldiers. I've been the Deputy Commanding General of 1st Army, and again, as I said, now the Deputy Commanding General of U.S. Forces Command, the largest organization in the United States Army. I am not a politician, I'm a leader. I want to tell you what happened in this state in the future, and we need to break the status quo before we move this state as it moves. Major themes that I'll try to talk about are my themes that I go through education. For 5.6 million population in K through 12 in the state of Texas, 5-point education. You can look at 39 minutes, 39 out of 4 out of 50, we don't adequately fund schools. We need to make sure that we're going to talk about that tonight, and we need to do great economic development and provide jobs for the wonderful people that live here. This is a great part of the state. I love the candidate for this position.
In fact, many of us have been in this room together for various meetings and events, and so thank you for doing this. Mr. Chairman, thanks for this event, and President for hosting us, and it's good to be in Marshall. A few things I want to share with you. We're going to have a good time tonight discussing the issues, and you've already discerned Brown, and you're going to hear me say bad things about them. We differ on some issues. That's going to be coming out, but they're good men, and we're thankful to be part of this process. Again, my name is Brian Hughes, and I grew up in Mineola over in Wood County, and went to Tyler Junior College in UT Tyler. By God's grace, after a good public school education in East Texas, K through 12, I was able to go to community college and college. And so, President, you're right about education and higher ed. It's a real backstage pass. Regular folks, for working folks. After college, I went to Baylor Law School, then came back to East Texas. And not long after that, I began to practice law here in Marshall. Got to know a number of folks in this room during that time. And then after a few years, we looked at the way things were going, and our area was not represented by someone who shared our conservative values. And so it was time for redistricting, and there was a new district drawn that was anchored in Marshall. People in this room from helping us, from getting behind us, from praying for us. And 2002 was a good year. The Lord saw fit to put us in office, and that began my time representing you in the legislature.